Corey, these credits, are they just as important to the company as the batteries themselves?
Well, let's first give credit to the linguism of Elon Musk. I mean, range anxiety.
Range anxiety.
That's a great phrase.
I know.
It sounds very personal.
It's a nice euphemism, isn't it?
So Elon introduced this idea in a tweet on Sunday morning when all of us, financial reporters were waiting for news to report on. Sunday morning, he puts in his Twitter. He puts in his Twitter account. He says, "Tesla press conference at 9 a.m. on Thursday, about to end range anxiety via OTA software update, affects the entire Model S fleet." So we'll find out tomorrow morning what this means and what this might mean. So what might range anxiety mean? Teslas are limited in how far they can drive, 200 miles for the one version of the car, 265 miles, they say, for another version of the car. But perhaps even worse in places where the weather is cold and sometimes. And that matters a lot if you're going for a long drive, say going from Los Angeles to San Francisco. That's a range problem here. So what's interesting is it makes us want to look at what these batteries are, what decisions Tesla's made around these batteries. And what's interesting is that the batteries are so very important to the car. They're very important to the business. And at many states across the country, they get credits or generate credits for the manufacturers of the cars because they're making zero-emission cars. So really simply, for every car they make that doesn't pollute, they can sell a credit to another car maker that does pollute. And they're able to generate these credits in many states across the country and use those credits in California. And increasingly, that's bringing in a lot of money for the company. The more cars they make, the more credits they make. So in the last quarter, that got it to be as much as $66 million. Now, you might say, what's $66 million to this money-losing company?
There you
As a percentage of sales, it was all over the place. But the $66 million that it generated, that was 33% of gross profits last quarter. It was nearly 40% of gross profits the previous quarter. So this is a material issue for this company. How long can they generate these credits?
Is that one of the complaints about Tesla is that the company keeps talking about these exciting new things it's doing, but that these core financial fundamentals are really not that impressive and continue to deteriorate. Is that what we're seeing now? Elon Musk makes a big announcement about this new software update ending range anxiety. Meanwhile, the real story is this tax credit issue.
Well, it's certainly the promise of Tesla is always in the come, right? If you look at the results. You look at the results in the rearview mirror, and sometimes they don't always look so good. Sometimes they look weird. If you look in the future, if they talk about self-driving cars and hyperloops and gigafactories and solving range anxiety, it always looks exciting. So that's why I love this as a story, right? It gives us a chance to actually look at what's happening, and sometimes that can differ from the reality. And when I looked at these these zero-emission credits, it's really peculiar. You'd think about for every car they make, they get credits about equal to the number of cars, but the tax credits per car, number one, at some quarters they were zero, but they're going way up, even as Tesla says they're selling more cars internationally, and the text of their SEC filing says we're going to have fewer range credits, or fewer zero-emission credits, and because we're selling overseas, we're not going to generate these credits. So the numbers really don't track with what they're saying in terms of what they're writing down in their information with SEC filings. It's a very weird thing, and as I point out, I think it's really material to their gross profits.
So they really do need to rely on the U.S. market here for these credits. What is Elon Musk saying about all of this on Twitter?
Well, I'd love to tell you. It was much to my surprise last night when I went to check the punctuation of the earlier tweet that I showed you that Elon Musk has blocked me on his Twitter account.
What?
So, yeah,
wow.
It's fairly unusual. He somehow has decided that I should be blocked, so I can't actually look. I cover the company, of course, and clearly he releases financial information or information of importance, like an important press conference they're having on Thursday, on the Twitter account, but I'll have to get that from other sources.
That's kind of a scandal.
I can't look at the Twitter account anymore.
Backstory. He blocked you from following him on Twitter. What happened?
I don't know. I discovered it last night as I was checking my facts for the story. It's unusual. I don't know that it's I can still read the financial filings. I can still model the company. I can still talk to current and former executives of the company. I can still report on it, but I can't read his Twitter
Well,
followers,
you just have to log out of
It's
Twitter, and then you can still see them. So that you can always get around that.
And there's always the fake Elon Musk tweets, which are
funnier
almost as
anyway.
entertaining. Almost as entertaining, right?